social democratic Labour parties of the world, almost without exception, are moving to the right. It's a tragic irony. And it's not accidental in many ways, because in a crisis like this, there are only so many alternatives on offer. That in the period of the 50s and the 60s, when capitalism was generally booming, they can afford to throw a few crumbs to the working class. But, and through nothing was given away, everything had to be fought for, and the Canadian working class won union organisation, they won the RAND formula, it's a compromise, it's still a step forward. They won healthcare, educational reforms, and the rest of it. But now the system is in crisis. All of the old gains are on the chopping block. They're on the chopping block. And I'm the editor of Fight Back magazine. The front page of our paper, I encourage people to get a copy, is socialism or austerity. Because this truly is the choice ahead of us in this epoch of capitalist crisis. It is either break with the market, break with capitalism, or no matter how good your intentions may or may not be, you are forced to attack the working class. You're forced to attack youth, you're forced to attack immigrants, women, every sector of the oppressed. And that is a choice before the New Democratic Party. Which road will it take? Will it take the road of PASOK in Greece? And we just heard about that. Will it take that road where, here's not just a social democratic party, but PASOK in Greece was a socialist party, called itself socialist, and was forced by the crisis to attack the Greek working class and ended up destroying itself. And you have now a party from the communist movement, Syriza, is the main left alternative in Greece. So the question is, what future lies ahead for the NDP? That if you look at this amendment to the preamble, well, reading it, nothing in that amendment would offend the sensibilities of any liberal prime minister for the last century.
Exactly.
It's not a new, they say we need new ideas, we need modernization. I don't see any new ideas. I see old, liberal, failed ideas.
That's right, yeah.
This statement, thank you. This statement is wrong in principle and wrong in practice. It's wrong in principle because the system has failed, but it's wrong in practice. In the last election, what happened? We saw a sea change and the rejection of liberalism, the utter rejection of liberalism. And we see this on the streets. We see this on the streets of Montreal. Fantastic mass movement of the youth, hundreds of thousands of people. Maybe I could give Judy a moment to step out. So, hundreds of thousands of people who are looking for fundamental change. They're not looking for the middle of the road. In fact, everyone talks about the NDP moving to the centre. I don't know where this centre is, to be honest. There's no more a centre of politics than there is a centre of the universe. And I say that as someone who lives in Toronto. So there is no centre of politics. Although, if you look at the economic, in Toronto, there's a very good study of income distribution. That in fact, previously, the majority of people in Toronto in the 1970s were middle income, over 60%. Now, only 29% are middle income. And 40% of Torontonians are either poor or very poor. And on the other side, the super rich are getting more. They've gone up from about, in the 70s, like 5% of the population to 18%. So you're getting an incredible class polarization to the left and to the right in ideology, to the working class and to the rich in economics. So by supposedly going to the mushy middle, to the non-existent centre, it actually means the defeat of the NDP. Because the Conservatives, Harper, have a very clear right-wing ideology. They support corporations, the banks, RBC, sending good jobs to temporary foreign workers, sending them to India. Well, that's the clear ideas, the clear corporate bankers' ideas of the Conservatives. You've got the Liberals, Justin Trudeau, he's a very good-looking guy, but what else does he stand for? Nobody knows. Mushy middle liberalism. Well, how do you oppose clear corporate ideas of the Conservatives? If you're fighting with Justin Trudeau over the mushy middle, no one will care and the Conservatives will always win. The only way to defeat clear right-wing corporate ideas is with clear left-wing socialist ideas in favour of the working class. So this is a vital struggle for the NDP. And we don't know how the vote's going to go tomorrow. I hope we win, but even if... Sunday. Even if the vote is unfavourable, it's not the end of the fight. It's nowhere near the end of the fight. Let's have some perspective. Who was even aware of the preamble of the Constitution before? Right? It is an important fight for the heart and soul of the party and the direction of the party. We've seen where the leadership wants to take the party. You know, Obama, representatives after another. You know, they want to turn the party into a US Democratic Party, but there's a lot of fighting to be done before they succeed in that. And there's a lot of fighting on the streets to be done through the unions, through the youth movement, Idle No More, Occupy, and there is a burning anger amongst the population looking for any outlet, and that inevitably, not in a linear fashion, I'll give up my Marxist roots, in a dialectical fashion, has its reflection in the mass organisations, in the NDP, and an NDP may be in government in 2015. It eventually will be in government, and if it accepts the logic of the system, it will be put, unfortunately, our party, just like Bob Rae, will be putting through austerity. And that, my friends, is the recipe for splits and polarisation within the organisations of the working class.